So good morning, everyone. As you come in and take your seat, I would just ask that I know a lot of you are uh, generally working during this time of day, and your phones will catch your attention. So if you haven't had an opportunity to, if you would just take a moment, check your phone, double check it, and let's place it on silent. And that way you can still maybe feel that phone buzz, but not necessarily interrupt the ceremony on this morning. So we'd appreciate you doing that. And we'll be starting here in just about another minute as we wait for folks to continue to come in and fill the seats. Thank you. I want to thank you all for joining us this morning. My name is Leonardo Brown. I serve here as the County Administrator for Richland County, and I want to bring you initial welcome for our Richland County inaugural Veterans Day recognition ceremony on this morning. Before we get started, I would ask if you would just join me for a moment of silence for all the veterans in our community who have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice. So just for a few moments, if you would just maybe close your head or bow your eyes, close your eyes, bow your head. We can do both, right? Let's multitask. And just join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. I appreciate that. As we move on in the program, I'm going to ask now that if you are able, if you would please stand for the presentation of colors, followed by the national anthem, and if you will remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Ooh. Right. Hey. Ho. Ho.
And now we'll have our invocation by the chaplain, Colonel Palmer, retired.
Let us pray. Almighty and gracious God, our Heavenly Father, we come into your presence today asking your blessing upon this inaugural ceremony as we seek to honor and pay tribute to our veterans, men and women, both past and present, for their many contributions to the freedoms we enjoy. It is because of their dedication, commitment, and sacrifices that our country continues to remain free. And not only do we pay tribute to our veterans, but more importantly, oh God, we pay tribute to you, for you are a great and mighty God, and we know that it is by your decree that nations rise and fall. You are great and holy, and we thank you for the freedoms that we enjoy. These and all other blessings we ask in your most holy and righteous name. And everybody said together, amen.
Please be seated. Just want to say for a brief moment, thank you to Dr. John Ha for that wonderful rendition of the national anthem. And again, thank you to Colonel Palmer for that great invocation. And now to bring you official greetings on this morning, I'm going to bring to the podium the Chair of County Council, the Honorable Jessica Mackey.
Good morning. Thank you to Chaplain Palmer. We appreciate you for being here and delivering that invocation. Also, thank you to Dr. John Ha as well. We appreciate you. And welcome all to Richland County's inaugural Veterans Day recognition ceremony. I am Jessica Mackey, Chairwoman of Richland County Council. And I also want to take a few moments to recognize some of our other elected officials that are joining us this morning. We have Councilwoman Tyra Little, representing District 3, who also served as our keynote speaker this morning. We have Councilwoman Gretchen Cooper, representing District 7, Councilwoman Shakise Newton, representing District 9, Councilman Paul Livingston, representing District 4. We have City of Columbia Mayor Daniel Rickaman. We also have Mayor Bill Danielson from Town of Irmo. We have other Richland County elected officials here. Sheriff Leon Lott. Thank you, Sheriff. We have Auditor Paul Brawley. We have our Judge Amy McCullough. Thank you. And if I missed anyone else, could you please raise your hand? We did have a check-in sheet, but I want to make sure I acknowledge all of our elected officials or appointed officials here today. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you so much. Speaking for myself and colleagues, today is not just a ceremony, but it is truly a celebration. It is also a reflection and a reminder of the incredible gift of service and what it looks like to lead with purpose. Let us carry that inspiration with us long after we leave here today. As we honor these brave individuals who have served, let us not just thank them for what they've done, but let's recognize what they continue to do in our community. The integrity, discipline, and quiet courage instilled through their military service shows up here in Richland County. It shows up in our public meetings, in our community projects, and our emergency services, and everyday interactions with our residents. Richland County isn't just where we live, it's a place where service is truly a way of life. We are home to Fort Jackson, the nation's largest Army training installation, where more than half of new soldiers in the United States come right through Richland County as they begin their journey. We are also proud neighbors of the dedicated service members at McIntyre Joint National Guard Base and the McGrady Training Center. Here in Richland County, courage and commitment don't just shape history. They shape our community, they shape our values, and they shape all the people that work beside us each and every day. Mr. Brown shared with me that nearly 10% of our workforce right here in Richland County are veterans. We'd like to call out that this percentage is less than 1% of Americans that volunteer to serve in the U.S. Armed Force. So it is beyond impressive to have that large a number of percentage of veterans right here in our workforce. This means that daily we are all surrounded by true leaders that live a life of service beyond just themselves. To all of our current and former service members, I want to say thank you for your service. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'd like to turn it back over to County Administrator Leonardo Brown for brief remarks as we continue along our program.
Thank you, Chair Mackey. We know that Veterans Day began as Armistice Day in 1919. It is a day set aside to honor our service members and veterans. When World War I ended, it was considered to be the war to end all wars. And it is said that the war ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. Thus, each year, November the 11th is the day to honor all veterans who served and fought to protect our way of life. Today is our inaugural Veterans Day recognition ceremony in Richland County. We are using this time to recognize and honor our county employees who have put on the uniform and continue to serve our country through civil service. These county personnel have selflessly protected our way of life. And now, I would like to introduce Ms. Sarah Harris, who is the Director of Grants and Community Outreach here at Richland County, and Ms. Harris will introduce our guest speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Everyone, I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a hot flash right now. But I want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for being here, for all those involved today. So my name is Sarah Jane Harris. I'm the Director of Grants and Community Outreach, and it's my honor to introduce our keynote speaker. At this time, I'm going to read the full biography for our guest speaker, the Honorable Councilwoman Tyra K. Little. Tyra K. Little is a 20-year military veteran, a community leader, and a champion for those who serve. After honorably serving in the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Air Force, for over 2 decades, Tyra returned home to Columbia, the community that raised her, determined and continued to serve those through advocacy and leadership. A Columbia native and Richland School District 1 graduate, Tyra's call to service began early. Following her military career, she earned an AA in criminal justice from the Community College of the Air Force and a BS in legal studies from South University. She's currently pursuing a master's in trauma-informed education at Columbia College, where she's also enrolled in the graduate certificate program in building resilience through trauma-informed practices in higher education. Long before entering elected office, Tyra championed South Carolina legislation known as H3116, which is now Act number 116 of 2024. Now, I'm not going to read the entire act, Ms. Little, but it's very impressive if you have an opportunity to take a time to read that. This act actually expanded property tax exemptions for disabled veterans and their spouses, ensuring that those who sacrificed for our country receive the support that they deserve. Her dedication to veterans' issues is rooted in deep personal experience. As a disabled veteran herself, She understands the challenges of navigating VA systems and the importance of community support in the healing journey. In November 2024, Tyra was elected to the Richland County Council, representing District 3. And in her first council meeting in February 2025, she proposed a hate intimidation ordinance that passed unanimously in June of 2025, making Richland County the first county in South Carolina to enact such comprehensive measures. This groundbreaking achievement came in a state that remains only one of only two in the nation without a statewide hate crime law. Tyra's commitment to service extends beyond policy, and in 2025, she founded Both Sides of the Coin Initiative, a 501c3 nonprofit providing trauma-informed education and restorative programs for survivors of violent loss, families of offenders, and youth impacted by violence. She also founded Living Proof by Tyra, a consulting firm that helps organizations become more trauma-informed through faith-based storytelling and evidence-based practices. Both organizations are currently undergoing trauma-informed certification through Columbia College's Institute for Building Resilience through Trauma-Informed Practices. Tyra has been accepted into the Everytown Survivor Fellowship, which is a one-year volunteer and advocacy training program that provides training in public speaking, testifying before lawmakers, and sharing personal stories to raise awareness and motivate action. Her leadership has inspired multiple South Carolina municipalities to pass hate intimidation ordinances following the Richland County model. Whether serving in uniform or advocating for veterans' benefits or leading in public office, Tyra K. Little embodies the principle that service to country extends far beyond military duty. It is a lifelong commitment to community, justice, and healing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to welcome Ms. Honorable Councilwoman Tyra K. Little.
Good morning. And thank you for that warm introduction. It is an honor to stand before you today as a councilwoman, but more importantly, as a fellow veteran and someone who understands service from both sides, military and civilian. You see, I didn't stop serving when I took off my uniform. None of us do. And on this Veterans Day, I want to talk to you about something I know deeply and personally. How the service we honor today continues through the work that you do every single day for the citizens of Richland County. As Mr. Brown stated, Veterans Day began as Armistice Day, marking the end of World War I on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. Since then, it has evolved into a day when we honor all who have served in the United States Armed Forces. But this holiday is about more than remembering the past. It's about understanding how the values embodied by our veterans continue to shape our present and how those same values live on in the work we do every single day here at Richland County. When we think about veterans, we often picture soldiers in combat, sailors on ships, airmen in the sky, Marines storming beaches. But the essence of military service goes deeper than any single moment of heroism. It is built on a foundation of values: duty, honor, integrity, selfless service, and an unwavering commitment to something larger than oneself. When I transitioned from military service to civilian life, I'll be honest, I wondered what would fill the sense of purpose, that sense of mission. But then I found myself drawn to public service and eventually to serving on Richland County Council. And you know what I discovered? The uniform changed, but the mission didn't. The call to service didn't end, it evolved. Each of you made a similar choice when you decided to work for Richland County. You chose to dedicate your professional lives to serving your community, to serving our citizens. When you help a family navigate benefits they're entitled to, you're serving our citizens. When you maintain infrastructure that keeps our community safe and connected, you're serving our citizens. When you process paperwork efficiently so that businesses can thrive and families can build their lives here, you're serving our citizens. When you answer the phone with patience and guide someone through a confusing process, you're serving our citizens. When you show up with professionalism and care, even on difficult days, you're serving our citizens. I know that many of you in this room are veterans yourselves. We've already worn one uniform in service to our country, and now we wear another, the metaphorical uniform of public servant. Our transition from military to civilian service wasn't an end to our commitment. It was a continuation of it. To my fellow veteran employees, thank you. Your service didn't end when you took off your military uniform. It evolved. And Richland County is better because you chose to continue serving here, serving our citizens. Let me share what I know. From personal experience in both military and public service are the core values that connect these two forms of serving. Duty first. In military, I learned that duty comes before personal preference. You fulfill your duty. Integrity. The trust our citizens place in us demands that we operate with the highest ethical standards. Teamwork. Our work requires collaboration across departments, divisions, and roles. We succeed together or not at all. Resilience and adaptability. Military service teaches you to adapt and overcome. In public service, we face challenges, but we must be resilient and creative in finding solutions. Commitment to something greater. Both military, public service require us to see beyond ourselves. Our work has meaning because it contributes to the greater good. Here's what I want you to take away from today. Your work matters. It matters in ways that are sometimes visible and celebrated, and in ways that are quiet and unnoticed. But every single day, through your efforts, you are carrying forward the legacy of service that we honor on Veterans Day. Think about what our veterans fought to protect. Not just land or borders, but the idea that people should have the opportunity to live freely, safely, and with dignity. Every time you help make that possible for a resident of Richland County, you are advancing the very values that our veterans defended. The connection between your service and the lives of our citizens is direct and profound. You are often faced with government to the people we serve, and that means everything. When a citizen walks into a county office, anxious and uncertain, you have the power to make them feel heard and helped. When someone calls with a problem, you have the ability to turn their frustration into hope. When a family is struggling to navigate systems they don't understand, you can be the bridge that connects them to the help they need. Our veterans serve to protect the American way of life. You serve to make that way of life on a daily basis for every citizen in Richland County. Every form you process, every call you answer, every inspection you conduct, every case you manage, behind such of those tasks is a real person, a real family, a real citizen, counting on you. That's not just a job, that's a calling. That's service. As we honor our veterans today, as I honor my fellow veterans and reflect on my own service, I want to challenge each of us to think about how we can embody their example even more fully in our daily work. Can we approach each day with renewed dedication to our mission of serving the citizens of this community? Can we support each other as teammates the way military units support their own? Can we face challenges with resilience and determination that I know characterizes every veteran in this room? Can we remember, especially on the hard days, that we are part of something greater than ourselves? We may not wear the military uniform anymore, but we are still serving our country, one county, one community, one citizen at a time. On this Veterans Day, let us honor those who served in the military by recommitting ourselves to the values they embody, and to serve, and to every employee of Richland County, thank you for your service to our citizens. Thank you for choosing this work. Thank you for showing up every day to serve the people who depend on us. Our veterans serve to protect our citizens' freedoms. You serve to make those freedoms real and meaningful in a daily life. Together, veterans and public servants alike, we form an unbroken chain of service to the people of this great nation and this great county. Today, as we honor our veterans, let us also honor the service that continues in this room, in the offices, and throughout the county operations. Let us carry forward the legacy of duty, honor, and commitment that Veterans Day represents. May we never take for granted the freedoms we enjoy, the veterans who secured them, the citizens we have the privilege to serve, or the responsibility we now carry to serve those freedoms through our public service. Thank you, and God bless our veterans, our community, Richland County, our great state of South Carolina, and the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those powerful words, Councilmember Little. We appreciate your service, and we appreciate you serving here as our guest speaker for this inaugural event. Now I'm going to ask to come to the podium Dr. Kim Janha, who serves as the Executive Director of the Richland Legislative Delegation and Veteran Affairs. She's going to come forward and recognize our esteemed honorees. Dr. Janha.
Good morning. I am most honored to serve in leadership at the Richland Legislative Delegation and Veterans Affairs Office, but I'm most humbled, my fellow colleagues, to speak your name on today. As I do, if you would, please stand briefly and have a seat as I call your fellow veterans' names. And if you all, audience, would please hold your applause until the end. Eric Alvarez, Kelvin Ash, James Ballantyne, Tamika Berry, James C. Brown, Alan Brown, Kenneth Brown, Alexander Burton, Leroy Kane, Peter Savalas, Charles Charleston, Thomas Clark, Sheena Coakley, Passion Cook, Adika Cross, Truman Daniels, Brian Dawson, Sandra Dickerson, Sierra Dove, Devos Gatson, Rafael Gonzalez, Sharice Knox, Stephen Cohen, Tyra Little, Michael Maloney, Harriet B. Miller, Vincent Malloy, Rashid Milwaukee, Penny Neal, Martha Porter, Sean Sears, Kevin Thomas, Tony Vaughn, Sharika Washington, Stephen Zerlo. Now, these are all the names that I have in front of me, but if there are any other veterans who are employed by Richland County, would you please stand so we can recognize you on today? Our chef. It's Leon. We apologize, dear sir. We honor you. Are there any other veterans within our community that are here? We would like to recognize you on today as well. Thank you all for your service. Again, I am honored to have been able to speak your name. Thank you.
Earlier, you heard the 10% number mentioned about Richland County's workforce. What you see are represented this morning here are U.S. soldiers, airmen, Marines, guardians, sailors, Navy officers, midshipmen, or other guardsmen who have served in our country, now serving here in our Richland County community. Again, we thank you for your service and we honor you. Now we're going to ask to come to the podium County Veterans Affairs Officer Kenneth Brown to share information on various resources that are available to our veterans. Mr. Brown.
Good morning. Good morning. To my fellow veterans, I salute you and thank you for your service. At our office at the Richland County Veterans Affairs, we just want you to know that we're there to serve and assist you in applying for benefits for the Department of Veterans Affairs, the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. And if you reach out to us, we will try to answer your questions and anything and try to find you resources through all that you're seeking. I ask that you visit our table after the ceremony to learn more about our services and partake on the gifts that we have for you. And again, we thank you for your service, and please accept our gratitude for your service. Thank you.
As we bring this ceremony to a close, I want to again thank all of those who have attended here. But as you are well aware, a lot of things cannot be done without good people behind the scenes helping to put things together. So this morning, I want to just take a moment to say thank you and recognize our Veterans Recognition Committee, who included Director Sarah Harris, who you heard from earlier. Director, if you would please stand. Executive Director, Dr. Kim Janha, who you've heard from this morning. Director, again, if you would please stand. And Director Philip Harris, again, if you would please stand. So thank you all for, please be seated. Thank you all for helping put this on. You've listened to our community of employees here. You've moved forward with the support of Richland County to recognize and show appreciation for the people who serve Richland County, and I want to thank you for allowing us to have such an event. I also want to let everybody else know that it's gathered here right outside the building entrance on the Hardin Street side. Veterans are recognized during today's ceremony can pick up your certificates at the registration table. Also, we invite all guests to visit the vendor tables outside the walkway where you can get information about the various resources for veterans and our military branches. And then this concludes today's ceremony. And again, we thank you for joining us in honoring those who have served in our community, and specifically today, those who serve today in Richland County. Thank you.